Welcome to episode 3 of the sales training program on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube from Be Free Academy. This is where we take a single problem that you're facing in the sales world, deal with it one by one each week. Okay, so this week the problem was posed to me by one of my Instagram followers called the Sales Strategy, and he's asked about how to establish a sales strategy when you're starting out. Okay, how to establish a structure. It's a bit of a difficult one actually, because to be honest, I was kind of expecting these to be specific examples, and this is quite broad, but I thought, let's try and tackle it anyway. So what I've written out here is what I would do as a startup, and what I have done, to be fair, as a startup, to try and establish who is the best place to buy my products, and where I'm able to make the most money quickly. Okay, so first thing that you should do when you're trying to establish a sales structure is to put together a playbook. Okay, so playbook's really important because a playbook is basically your roles and the way that the business tackles each part of the sales process. And the benefit of that is it makes it repeatable. Okay, so everybody's on the same page, everybody's doing exactly the same thing, and there's a clear structure in place, and it's written down. So you've got somewhere to go to check to see exactly what happens next. A bit like, I'm from the UK, obviously, but I kind of follow American football a little bit, and each time there's a play, it's clearly written down, so everybody in that team knows exactly what their job is and what they've got to do. And when you're starting out, that's really important. It actually becomes even more important as you're looking to grow and expand. Okay, so you make sure you have a clear structure and protocols in place. Okay, also when you're starting out, it's really important to understand who you help, and identifying the exact identifying your niche, I guess, is the best way to put it. So who do you help, why do you help them, and what problems do they have that you solve? Okay, so until you know that kind of stuff in detail, you're not really going to go anywhere, because what a lot of mistakes that people make when they're starting out in business is they have their customer base is too broad. They can help too many different people, and when you don't specialize in a particular area, and when people think, these guys, they might be really good, but they don't understand me, and they don't understand how I work. That's a problem for you, because somebody else will. And having that nailed down is really, really important. So what I would suggest doing is undergoing a process to work through and understand the kind of personas that you're targeting. And I've got some worksheets that can help you with that. So feel free to ask me for those. Then also think about how you find customers. So those customers that you've identified that you can help, how do you find them? Where do they spend their time? Think about that. And that's where you need to focus your marketing attention. Just on marketing, are you marketing and putting your product or service out there and expecting people to come to you, which is a common approach, or are you actively outreaching, actively going out, cold calling, cold emailing, messaging people on LinkedIn to try and find leads? Both arguments are really, really important, and they really cater to different parts of the market. But like I said, both equally important, and you need to make sure you understand what works best with the kind of customers that you're trying to attract. Then think about what kind of objections you're going to face when you're talking to customers. So we've already thought about the kind of problems we solve, but what kind of objections are you likely to face from those customers, and how do you deal with those objections? Do you know that? Because that's really important, because those objections, whether you like it or not, are going to come up, and it's really important that you clearly know how you can solve those problems. Also, your competitors. So, I mean, it's really important to, first of all, know who your competitors are, but also understand what they do and their sales approach. So, little tip, I guess, is to approach your competitor and find out exactly what they do and how they do it, so that you can basically copy it and do it better. And doing it better is the really important part. Don't just copy and do exactly what they're doing. Make it better. So identify where they're weak, just do it better. Thinking about your elevator pitch is also really important. You've probably all heard that term. So where you get 10, 20 seconds to really clearly and eloquently explain to somebody what it is that you do. And if that takes more than 3 sentences or more than 20 seconds, you're doing it wrong. So it's really important to think about how you do that and making sure that's clear and concise. So if somebody doesn't understand, or even if you get any questions about, oh, I didn't quite understand what that meant or what you do, you're doing it wrong. So make sure that's clear and concise. Then think about your sales meeting. So when you're in that sales situation with a customer, what does that look like? How are you handling those sales meetings? Are you doing a demo of a product? Are you just taking them through a PowerPoint slides? What are you doing? It's really important to understand that and work out what approach works best for the kind of customers that you're trying to approach. Qualification as well is really important. So I'm a big believer in overqualifying your leads, so making sure that you're not wasting time spending time talking to people that are never going to buy your product or are not in a position to buy your product. So understanding whether they can afford it and that kind of thing. So making sure you understand what criteria you're qualifying against is another point there. Really early, I think you should put together an ideal customer profile, and so the kind of customers that you want to approach. And also your pricing is really important. So I've put together recently a pricing cheat sheet, which I'll link to at the bottom of this video, and going through that to understand exactly how you price yourself and how you price your products is key, and a really critical part of the sales process. Right. Let me know if you've got any questions. That was quite a broad overview about how I would start putting together a sales strategy. Let me know what you think. If there's something I've not covered particularly well, then that's okay. Just let me know and we can go into it in a bit more detail. So the other thing I'd really like you to do is follow my YouTube channel, and it's really important to me. It's a brand new YouTube channel. You're watching this, probably 1, maybe 2 followers, and that's probably my mum. So please follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Mean the world to me. And let me know what you want me to address next week. Really important to try and keep the momentum of these and doing them every week. And then I'm going to put them all in YouTube, and you'll be able to have access to them forever.